What are y'all's thoughts on it?
I'm taking a picture of this.
Oh, please share it. Post it.
Yes, I'm posting all of
This one.
No.
A lot of people in this building support doing this to babies.
Yeah, that's like... I talk about this a lot, and a lot of people don't understand my point of view, so it's like...
What's your point of view?
I believe it should be banned, because it...
Totally?
Here, off to the side.
I feel like there should be certain circumstances, like rape.
With certain conditions, if you were raped.
But if you decided to fool around or whatever, I feel like that's on you. You shouldn't get rid of the baby because it's not its fault, and you're just basically murdering that baby at that point. So, but I do think like rape. I don't. It's really that's a rough topic because rape is a really hard just subject in general for a lot of people, and a lot of people think like, oh my god. So I don't know. That's just my point of view.
Too.
Thank you.
Well, do you know what the Bible says about that?
No, I do not.
It says that you put the rapist to death, and it says in I believe Deuteronomy that sons should not be put to death for the sins of their fathers, nor fathers for the sins of their sons. And so, in this here, people who support murdering the baby in the case of rape or incest, they're basically saying that the son, should be put to death, murdered, for the sins of his father. And the thing to consider with if a girl or woman, depends on what age, if she after she's raped and she conceives a child, is who's the guilty party and who's the innocent party.
Okay, now I'm starting to rethink it because I do see that now I'm thinking it should.
I'm 100% still on my
ban.
So what?
I think it should just.
On the whole, if you were raped, let's say you're 13, if you don't allow a 13-year-old to go into an adoption facility and say, hey, I want to adopt a baby or I want to adopt a kid, and they say, oh no, because you're not of age. Alright, because you're not of age, but yet if a 13-year-old was raped, then you want them to be forced to take care of a kid when they can't even adopt a kid? That's just that's what I'm trying to understand.
Well, there is a difference between adopting a child. You don't already have a child right now. You're trying to adopt a child, but if she conceives a child through, in this case of rape, she already has a child with her, and she has a duty to protect her child because God doesn't make mistakes. Because one thing probably most people don't think about or realize, even those who say they're Christians, when they advocate for murdering a baby whose father's a criminal, is that God does not make mistakes. When you say that you're basically saying this child should not be there, and that God made a mistake by putting this child in her womb, and that she can't take care of her child. Well, actually, she can. She may need some help, and that's why Christians, we go out into the culture, we offer help, and saying, yes, this will likely be hard for you, but don't add to your to what happened to you. The person, the coward the thug who raped her, he should be put to death. What he did to her, he used his bigger body to violate her smaller body, right? And so, but then when we advocate for mothers, whether an older woman or a younger girl, to murder her baby, to supposedly solve her problem or make her feel better, you're advocating that she use her bigger body to violate her child's smaller body. So and which is actually a worse crime than rape, because you can't heal from a rape, right? I'm not saying it's easy, but when a person rapes a girl or woman, she can get healing from that, and she can help others, right? But when you murder a baby, that's it. The baby's not coming back. And so it's actually, you're advocating for her to become a worse criminal than the rapist. And in this culture, it's upside down, where we rightfully see rape as an awful crime, because it is, but then we think it's okay to commit an even worse crime against a helpless little baby in the womb, because they're both wrong for the same reason, or similar reasons, that a big person using their strength to murder or to violate the rights of another human being, right? They're both rape and murdering a baby. They're both wrong because you're using your body to violate the rights of another human being who's more vulnerable, smaller than you, and with the baby, totally innocent. Does all that make sense?
Yeah, I totally understand. Now I'm kind of like
I'm not
shifting a little bit.
I'm not disagreeing that God does make mistakes, because truly, yes, if He wanted you to have a kid, He'd give you one.
Even in a tragic situation like rape, like,
Yes, I get that.
and like, because I mean, it shows that even in the tragedy of rape and incest, God can bring forth beauty out of tragedy, a beautiful child. And I mean, maybe, I don't know if you all have been, but I've been around rape conceived children and played with them, and their mothers loved them. They didn't like take the easy way out and murder them, saying, "I'm going to do to you what the rapist did to me. I'm going to victimize you to death, as I was victimized. But I wasn't victimized to death, but I'm going to do that to you." And we just see it as like, well, that's easier for the mother. Well, the mother, I don't want the mother to live with the guilt that she murdered her baby in cold blood the rest of her life. That's not going to heal her. That's going to just, she'll have to look at the face of a murderer the rest of her life, rather than look at the face of a mother who loved her baby in the midst of a terrible situation, that she trusted God, saying, I may not know why you allowed this, God, but you're God, you're sovereign, and I'm going to trust in you. But in this country, we don't trust in God for the most part. We go on our own understanding. We don't take refuge in God. We take refuge in our own opinions and a culture that says that, like this right here, this culture says that babies are a curse, especially if your father's a criminal, that you are a curse, and that you should be put to death. And we live in a country where our system of laws says that no person shall be deprived of life, or excuse me, that's going back to the 14th Amendment, that a person is innocent until proven guilty. But for the baby in the womb, we say you're guilty, and we're going to put you to death, even though we know you're innocent, because we're selfish, and because we don't trust God, and you're inconveniencing us. So because we don't want to be inconvenienced, I'm going to inconvenience you to death. I mean, just think about all that.
Thank